What's up, everybody? It's your boy Marcus Mules, and I am going to be answering questions from you guys. Now, I do apologize. I did post this a while ago. I deeply apologize that it took me this a while to get this ready, so I do apologize. But regardless, I will answer your questions. Okay, question 1. Favorite all-time horror game? My favorite horror game would have to be Outlast and the DLC. The first game does a phenomenal job of how it uses its pacing and everything when it comes to the scares. Because back then I never really liked horror games. Five Nights at Freddy's did kind of get me a bit into it, but playing Outlast really opened my eyes to horror games in general, where I was like, oh man, horror games are fun. Horror games are actually pretty cool. And the DLC does a phenomenal job too when it comes to bridging the gap in the first game with its story of how everything's all connected, and it's just, oh man, I love it. The sequel is pretty good. I like it, but the first game has a special place in my heart, so regardless. Anyway. Alright, next question. Favorite game on Xbox 360 / PlayStation 3? My favorite game on Xbox 360 would have to be Batman Arkham Origins. I played that a lot growing up, and during snow days, whenever it's really windy and snowy outside, I always pop in the game for fun, just to get into the whole aesthetic and the whole feel of the game, just to make it believable, I'm in Gotham City. And yeah, I love Arkham Origins. I love the Arkham franchise. Arkham City is my favorite, but Arkham Origins is my favorite 360 game. So there you go. All right. What's the film you acted in? I forgot. I've acted in a lot of things. I'll just say I've acted in a lot of things, if that helps. I was in Night 5. I was in The Car Crisis. I was the main character in that one. And there was another one I did. It was The Great American Broadcast. I played I played a character. I don't know if I should say what my character is, but I'm in it. It's a very shocking scene, but I love it. Some people may know what scene I'm talking about, but there's some people who may not know, so I don't want to ruin the surprise, so there you go. Alright, here's some other questions. Will you stream yourself playing your fan games when they release? Now, I will be playing those games. I just probably won't be live streaming them because I don't know how my computer will respond to basically the graphics and the quality and everything. I don't want to take that risk. And I played a few games behind the scenes that I wanted to put on the channel that I just couldn't play because of how shitty my computer is. And I would realistically probably, I guess I would just premiere them. I'll record them and I'll premiere them live in a way to make sure you're hey you guys, to make it still feel like it's live. So hopefully that helps. I'll probably do something more like that. I'll do that, really. What is your greatest achievement that you have accomplished? My greatest achievement that I have accomplished would have to be probably me living on my own for the past 3 years and staying on top of my bills and learning down the road who I am as a person. And I think that's by far my greatest achievement, is that I was able to take a risk and kind of figure things out as I go along. And these 3 years have been pretty rough, but they have kind of helped build me a little bit more into who I want to be. But yeah, being independent has been my greatest accomplishment by far. So there you go. When is the Marcus Mills movie happening? I have no idea when this will be happening. I feel like this is a joke question, so I feel I don't know, if you guys want me to make a Marcus Mills movie, or if you want me to make a Marcus Mills movie, please let me know. I'll be thinking about it, but when is it happening? I don't know. I don't know. That's a down the road kind of thing, really. That's a real down the road kind of question. So, yeah, I think that's something I will probably do down the road. All right. Food stream. When? Okay, I'll be honest. I know I've been pretty much lacking my food streams lately, and I do apologize for that. Realistically, though, I've been kind of to answer the question with the whole greatest achievement thing, I've been trying to take some time, take some breaks with my work life, my personal life, I've been trying to figure out like times to do certain things, and that's one of those things that I struggle with. It's just I make my promises and I'm trying to like work on things, and it's like I am horrible when it comes to that, and I'm trying to get better at that, and it's a lot. But when will I be doing the food stream? I think realistically it will be around like my birthday or something, or probably around the summertime. But don't count on it being like, oh, that's confirmed, he's probably doing it around his birthday or during the summertime. Things can change. I would say pretty much whenever I find the time and really when I try to find the time to like not be busy with everything. But it will be something I will be doing down the road. So yeah, fingers crossed, I'll say that. What is your opinion on Star Wars? I think the franchise is pretty cool. I'm not really a big fan of it, and the only franchises that I'm into are like Marvel and DC, and that's pretty much it. But there's a lot of other franchises that I'm trying to get more into, like what is it? There's like the Alien franchise, and like there's other franchises that I'm like, oh man, I'm trying to invest my time into, but it's like my ADHD is kind of shitty because it's like I'm only hyper focused on one thing, and I'm trying to get out of that habit. But I'm trying to look at new other franchises and just watch them for fun, just casually. But my ADHD is just a bitch. It will always stop me from things, but I'm trying not to let that stop me from seeing new things or trying new things. It's just making the time mentally to like make that into a priority. But I don't know. I think Star Wars is pretty cool. I like it. It's not that bad. It's pretty cool. What are you secretly Markiplier? Maybe. I mean, okay. I know a lot of people compare me to Markiplier for some reason, and it's always the funniest thing because one, I think there was a comment that I got. I can't remember which video it was. I know what it is, but I just can't remember which exact video it is or what it was. But there was a comment asking me. There was a comment saying something like, I have like this. I am basically similar to Markiplier because I play horror games and my voice is similar and all that and all blah blah blah. Am I secretly Markiplier? Maybe. I mean, really, I think the guy is really cool. He's a very hardworking man. He's very dedicated to what he loves, and I respect that. And that's something that I do admire from him, and that's something I try to emulate. It's just, if you love something that you do, why not focus on that, and why not make that into who you are? And yeah, am I secretly Markiplier? Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I really do respect the guy. I really do. I think he's a really cool guy, and I like him. I really do admire him, and he's really cool. So, yeah. I think it's just, Markiplier is really cool. I just, I'm not him, but I like him. Alright, next question. I would like to ask, how is it like being friends with XBlue, and what was your favorite part of the FNAF IRL set? Okay, I really like spending time with like XBlue, Derek and them, Matthew, Stacy, Brendan, Ben, all the other. I like hanging out with the boys. I love them. I've been with these guys since the very beginning. I've known Brendan from the very beginning since we were like really little, when we were like kids. I met Justin in the 5th grade, and then later on it became like this power dynamic to where when Justin came in, we all started becoming a stronger friend group at that point. Like, we became like brothers. And over the years, Derek came in. I think I didn't meet him until like junior high, all the way through like high school. Matthew, I didn't meet until like later on, until like, I believe like during a film festival. And yeah, I met him from Justin. So yeah, pretty much everybody I've known comes a bit from Justin, or pretty much just out of coincidence, really. And yeah, no, I really love these guys. They're like my brothers. They've been with me since the very beginning. They're like my happiest, my darkest moments. They've always been there for me, and I felt like these guys have always played a part in my journey of like being my own person, and these guys have been there for me, and I'm very grateful for that. And also, I love you, Ben. If you're watching this, Ben, I love you. Okay. And my favorite part of the FNAF IRL set, I remember talking to Justin about this, and maybe a bit of Derek, but my favorite set would have to be the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 set. Maybe the Five Nights at Freddy's 1, but Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is pretty amazing to me because, one, it's my favorite game by far. Oh, I'm a little biased to that, I'll be fair. And the fourth one was amazing because we were able to put that all together. Like, okay, realistically, it was Justin and Derek who did it. I partially helped, but like really it's mostly them. But the fourth one was amazing because that was an entire set that was built together, and it was on wheels, a mobile set, which was so cool that I didn't think that was it. Like I said, we went from Five Nights at Marcus Mills all the way to like, rebooting everything to Five Nights at Freddy's 4 in real life. And when Justin announced when we were doing that, I was like, oh man, how were we going to do this one? Because we were just finishing Five Nights at Marcus Mills 4, which the footage is lost. The footage is lost. Y'all never gonna see that. Y'all never gonna see that. And it's a damn shame. But regardless, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 in real life was pretty fun because that one was on wheels, and I thought that was pretty cool. But then later, Five Nights at Freddy's 1 came in, and that one really did change things up a bit more, because it was like, oh man, we're getting back to classic Five Nights at Freddy's, or Five Nights at Marcus Mills, where we're using the entire pole barns, we're using the entire barn to, like, fill up the entire thing with Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, and that was pretty cool. So I think Five Nights at Freddy's 4, the set was my favorite, because, yeah, it was on wheels, so I think I'll go with the fourth one. Also, if you can answer any you want to say about the Marcus Mills horror game. Okay, I have 2 horror games getting made for me. I think it was like Five Nights at Marcus Mills and Marcus Has Meals, which I've only saw the trailer for that one. Love it. Great trailer. You should definitely check it out. But really, I don't know what to say really, because realistically, I've been trying to avoid stuff behind the scenes because I've only recorded my lines for the game, and I've only seen the trailer. And for Five Nights at Marcus Mills, I just only basically just showed, like, images, and I showed, like, basically, like, I think it was, like, a concept of the game from Crutch. And also, Crutch, if you're watching this video, thank you so much for everything you have done in the background for, like, not only making the game, but being awesome. For, like, making the Discord server for me. And, like, see, that's the Crutch. I'll be honest. Like, this is all unscripted, so this should let you all know. Like, Crutch has been there, like, he's just been amazing. He's just been there, like, in the beginning, helping me, like, building my Marcus Mills brand, I guess you could say. Like, my image, you could say. And, yeah, he's the one who built, like, the Discord server, the Reddit, I believe. I remember that. That came. See, Crutch has been there since the beginning, and he's amazing. He's always just been, like, making these things for me. And I always been taken aback by that. I'm like, man. Like I said, this kid's really, like I said, Crutch, you're amazing, dude. You're awesome, and thank you so much for, like, what you've done for me and what you've done over at the XBlue channel, being supportive and always been there. You've always been there for us, and you're awesome. And thank you, Orange, for also making the game for Marcus Has Meals. Thank you so much for that, by the way. But, like, Crutch is just, he should get more credit for that. He's the one making the games. He can give you more insight into that. Like I said, the people who are making my games, they're the ones that have more knowledge than I do. I'm just a face. I'm just a face. My head is the shape of a potato. So there you go. That's just that gives you context of how much I know about my own games. But really, I don't know much about what's going on, like, behind the scenes. So far, I've only seen the trailer for Marcus Has Meals, and I only recorded my lines for the game. But other than that, I have no idea. And yeah, I'm excited as you guys when it releases, and I can't wait to play them, and I can't wait for you guys to play it too. So yeah, that's all I know. So alright, and that was every question I was able to get. Hold on, there's one more question I got. Are you real? You figure that out. Anyway, that's all the questions I have. And oh wait, yeah, that was all the questions I have. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching this video, and thank you everybody who submitted your questions. And if you have any more questions that you want me to answer, I would gladly answer them down the road. I love doing this kind of stuff because it gives me a chance to do something different. And yeah, it helps shed a little bit more of a light of who I am as a person. So again, thank you everybody so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. So, goodbye, and take care. By the way, this is a pre-recorded message.